Amidst massive protests and uproar, Gotabaya Rajapaksa today resigned as Sri Lanka's president finally. Rajapaksa sent his resignation after he is now found refuge in Singapore, allegedly on his way to Saudi Arabia. In fact, Gotabaya was seen shopping at a duty-free shop at Changi Airport in Singapore. What's happening on the ground? Take a look.
Once the powerful president of Sri Lanka, Gotabaya Rajapaksa is now scurrying for safety, hopping from one island after another. After escaping Lanka in the dead of the night on an Air Force plane and landing in Malé, Gotabaya took to a Saudi Airlines plane to Singapore on Thursday, fleeing Maldivian capital Malé, which hosted him for 2 days. As per Maldives government, the disgraced Lankan president may finally head to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Away from the wrath of agitated Lankan citizens on warpath over misrule and economic turmoil. Colombo meanwhile remains tense. Military armoured personal carriers were seen patrolling the troubled streets, keeping watch on protesters.
In this location itself, there are 3 tiers of protection. First by Sri Lankan police, the second by Sri Lankan army, and the third one is there, the armoured vehicles which are also moving inside. This is also raising a lot of issues with the protesters who are questioning that when there are no fuel for the public, how come these heavy armoured vehicles are getting their fuels?
The military choppers which hovered about troubled spots on Wednesday are continuing their low-flying sorties. As per military media, forces have been empowered to enforce law and order to protect people, public property and lives. After another late-night standoff with security forces outside Speaker's house, the protesters relented, agreeing to vacate the Galle-Phase landmarks in fortified Temple Tree area, including the presidential house and office and residence of the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, there is no end to the economic crisis gripping Lanka.
Cooking gas is something really very essential, but because of the supplies worst affected for next month, be it the petrol, be it the diesel or the cooking gas, every day these women are forced to queue in line facing the heat and the humidity. When supply is affected, their kitchen affected, their families affected, and that has forced them to hit the street against the government.
3 people, including a protester, a police official, a military personnel, have been killed in the standoff and 84 others have been injured. Acting President Ranil Wickremesinghe has asked the Speaker to appoint a caretaker Prime Minister who will oversee possible polls. With Ashutosh Mishra and Pramod Madhav in Colombo, Bureau Report, India Today.